We went to Europe last year, and by the way, we were flying from Nashville to London, and it was 4:42 p.m. Nashville time. So as a family, I said, let's guess what time it is in London. So I said 12:42 a.m. Our daughter said 1:42 a.m. My wife, her guess was 11, and that's it. Yeah, she didn't say the 42. And I was like, just say the 42. And she goes, you know what I mean. I go, I know, but just show her daughter you know what a normal person would say. We got very lucky with our neighbors. Our neighbors are super cool, and we're very close with them. They all have real jobs. They went to college and stuff. And one of them is a management consultant. So he manages all the consultants, and it's a tough job, all right? There's a lot of consultants, and he's like, you better get back, you can't consult up in here. So he's busy. Our other neighbor's an actuary. I thought that was with birds. I was like, what's that bird right there? He goes, I don't know. And I was like, as an actuary, you don't know what that bird is right there? I don't know anything about history. And I can tell because every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is going to happen? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were, I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe, and I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books, but these books are the most words, and it's every book. You just open it, and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds? The best wedding I've ever been to was my cousin's wedding. It was a real redneck affair. It was right outside Louisville, Kentucky, where my parents are from. And my cousin's name is Tuesday, which is a good start. The invitation said, Tuesday's getting married, rehearsals Friday, wedding Saturday. People were like, we got to be there Monday for this wedding? How long is this wedding? It's a week? We recycle, and we recycle because of my wife. It's her, she gets all the credit for that. I would never recycle if I was by my, I don't do it if she's not looking at me. So I would never do it if I was alone. I looked up a list of what are you supposed to do for global warming as an individual? And it was a big, long list. But the first thing on the list was my favorite. It just said, just talk to your friends and family about it. Think about your friends and family. Just when you guys get together, do you mind if we talk about global warming for a little? I just thought this would be a good time to get into it. I had a great aunt and uncle fist fight each other at a wedding. Let me get in the middle of that fight. Any chance this fight was about global warming? Because I just would love to get that conversation rolling, As a guy, we don't have any of that. What do we We play Fort. You got to keep everybody out of where you are, especially girls. The only toys we had were Transformers and Ninja Turtles. Those are not even real things. None of them had wives. They weren't married. I never played with my Ninja Turtles, and I had them going to fight Shredder. And then Michelangelo was like, hey, can y'all give me 2 seconds? My wife just showed up, and she looks furious about something. What do you want from me? And she's like, what are y'all doing? What's that April skank doing here? You're like, listen, she's a reporter. I almost joined the Army when I was 18 just because they called. That was the only reason. I thought I got picked. I was like, oh, wow, this is an honor. I also signed up for a JCPenney credit card at 18 because they called, and I was like, man, this day is getting crazier and crazier. I would love it. I would love a credit card. I just got called for the Army. I'll go get some stuff. My mom had to go get me out of all of that. My mom had to call the Army and JCPenney in the same day. She was like, he's not doing any of this. He got to the phone quicker than he usually does. So Look, I want to defend all these kids with peanut allergies. I don't think they get defended. They get yelled at by adults. We got a lot of adults addicted to peanuts in this country, and they're furious. And we just have adults are yelling at these children like they chose it. Like when they were born, the doctor goes, "Hey, do you want to be a nightmare to everybody?" Every scenario is life and death. You ever been on a plane? They just go, "All right, everybody, can't have peanuts today because that loser kid right there." And these grown-ups are booing them. I mean, they're just, the reason I'm on the flight is for the peanuts. I don't even know where it's going. I took speech in college. I would ride there with my friends going to a business class or something, whatever you go to. I was like, all right, I'll catch you after speech. And I still say a lot of words wrong. That's what I don't understand. I say poem, which no one ever knows. Poem, like, yeah, P-O-E-M, I go poem. We'll fix that, speech class. What if I want to be a poem writer? What if I have a lot of great poem ideas and no one takes me serious because I'm like, listen to my poems? This old man walks up to me and goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, Olivia? I covered up and I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. I was like, God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her. Inside a building, that's all you want, you know? One of the last, like, kind of bombs I had, I was doing it. So as comedians, we do a lot of corporate events. And I was doing this corporate event in Tampa, Florida. And it was for this guy. He ran Tampa's electricity or something. I don't know what anybody does. But he invented the electricity in Florida. So, yeah, he's doing real good. He was a very nice guy. He's very generous. Is all his employees. He was raffling off 2 cars. He gave away a bunch of TVs, iPads. I mean, honestly, probably $100,000 worth of gifts he was giving back to his employees. Very nice. Well, I was one of these gifts that he was giving back. So in the middle of giving this stuff away, he stops and goes, all right, got a big surprise for you. Can't believe we got this guy to come here. And he brings me out. I mean, nobody's heard of me at all. I mean, they're all looking at it like, I think I could get this guy to come to my house. I mean, who is? I start doing my act. I do 1 hour and just 0 laughs. I mean, nothing. And I'm not doing new jokes. I'm doing the greatest hits. I told the iced coffee with milk story 3 times. I kept just doing it. I was like, all right, I'm going to do it one more time. I don't think y'all were listening. People were leaving. The guy that drove me asked someone that left, and he just goes, hey, is the comedy show almost over? And the guy goes, I don't even know what you're talking about. There's a guy giving a speech up there right now, so maybe after that. So we get done, and then the guy comes up. You know, I have to talk to him. And I was like, look, I'm sorry, man. I used to be able to do comedy, and I lost it. You know, it's over. And he was very nice. He goes, no, it's all right. Nothing's your fault. And I was like, all right, I don't know how that's possible. And he goes, well, when you were up there, I remembered that most of my employees do not speak English. And I was like, all right, yeah, they'll do it, you know. Maybe don't hire an English-only speaking comedian. No heads up at all. Not that I could have changed it up, but it just would have been nice to know, you know. All seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's got to be one or, you know, something's got to happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go, I don't know what direction you want me to just go. Let's use this as a platform for global guys. I felt like, you know, as a spokesperson for all of Earth, all right, I think I'll give you a message that I don't think no one will give you. And I'm here to say that we're doing fine. So just relax. We're doing great, all right? I did some research. And I was like, let me look at the other planets. Let's see how good they're doing. And I don't want to. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're nowhere right now. I went up to this guy and I was like, "Hey man, do you guys sell hammocks?" And he was like, "What's a hammock?" And it threw me off enough that I was like, "Am I saying it wrong?" I was like, "I think I'm saying it wrong because you know what it is." And I was like, "Is it hammock with a T? Does that sound right? Like, do you guys sell hammocks?" And he was like, "We're out of hammocks. We're out of them. It's hammock season." And I left, went to my car, Googled where to buy a hammock. And Google was like, "Do you mean hammock?" I was like, "I sure do, Google. Where were you at during all of this?" I travel all the time. And if I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan. And on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision. It's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta if they could change it, and they're like, "We can't change it." And you're like, "Then I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, you know? If you can't do it, who can do it? I mean, is that why people call senators? Do they do it? I don't know. What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And you got to mail it in. I've never been a big mailing in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. I just never done it. Stamps make me nervous because I don't know how many you're supposed to put on. Where they're going to be like, "You should put one more on." And they changed the price of stamps, and that's not in the news, you know. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. They keep up with it. They're like, "Stamps went up." You're like, "Okay. All right. Is it $100?" Like, they're furious. They're like, "Is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies." So I will never go through that process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets... My parents are getting older. So my mom, we had her go pick up our daughter recently at a friend's house, and I texted her the address. She drove to the wrong house. So she knocked on the door, and another grandmother answered. Well, this is not good. This is like 2 dogs seeing each other through a fence. They're going to be there for a while, you know? So my mom, she knocks on the door. My mom goes, "Is my granddaughter in there?" And that lady goes, "I have 3 grandsons, so no solution. Just 2 grandmothers. Just, do you have stuff? I have stuff too." They talked for 30 minutes. It's a wrong door. I had to go get my daughter, then find my mom. I was in San Francisco, and I bet there's a bunch of fun coffee places. And I live in my dumb world that I just want this one little drink. So I go into a Starbucks, and I get to the front, and I was like, "I'll take an iced coffee with cream." She goes, "With cream?" I go, "With cream." And then she goes, "Iced coffee with cream?" I go, "Iced coffee with cream." She goes, "With cream?" I go, "With cream." And she said it one more time. She said, "So iced coffee with cream?" And at that point, I should have said, "What's going on right now? Where are you at in your head?" Because I feel like we're in 2 different places. But I was nervous, and there was people behind me, and I was like, "Cream or no cream? Honestly, I'll give you $20 if you let me leave right now. I cannot, this is the most I can talk about this. I don't even know what's happening anymore." So I paid. I go stand in line, you know, where you got to wait for your drink. There's like 5 of us waiting for our drinks. So she puts the iced coffee up there first, no cream. And I was like, whatever. I'll just do it myself, you know? Like, I don't like doing it myself, but I was like, all right, I'll just do it. So before I could get it, she's walked back with a can of whipped cream, and she's shaking it. And I'm just looking at it, like, thinking that's someone else's. I'm like, someone's getting whipped cream. That's fun. One of you guys are getting whipped cream? And I look down, and she starts spraying the whipped cream on top of my iced coffee. She just yells out, "Iced coffee, whipped cream," yells it out. The other 4 people, they turn their back. Like, they don't want you to accidentally think that's what they ordered. And I'm just left alone, like, that's what you thought I said over there? You don't think I would have said iced coffee with whipped cream? You think I'm just some nut job? It's like, I've had too many problems in this Starbucks, so I'm only going to use the words that I want and no other words. Iced coffee whipped cream cup. And they didn't have a top for it, so whipped cream, it doesn't sink and become less embarrassing. It moves. It's like a buoy in an ocean that everybody sees. And I'm just walking through the crowd like, this is my favorite drink. I don't know if you guys drink this at all. Is anybody? Nobody does this? I'm surprised. And I walked outside and threw it away and tried again at a different. People always talk to me very easy too, or dumb. Like if I talk to a stranger, I can always feel it. And I think it's my eyes. I have big eyes, you know? And so I just get a lot of like, you still with me, man? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, man, I'm listening. And he goes, all right, I don't feel like you could be anywhere.
Dumb guy, just I don't think it's pretty obvious. And I think I've thought about like time travel. Like if I went back in time, knowing everything I know now, I don't think I would make a difference. I don't think you would even hear about it. If I went back to the 20s and I like saw some guy on like an old phone, I'd be like, hey, eventually they have phones you just carry in your pocket. And he'd be like, yeah, how do they do it? It's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's like a satellite or something. And they'd be like, what's a satellite? Well, I shouldn't have even brought that up then. I don't know how they're doing it. It's like a round metal dish or something that got to go pretty high in the air. I honestly don't think I could prove I'm from the future. I mean, they would want some proof, you know? Who's the next president? Oh, boy.
Nick's a little person, very fun. We started comedy together. He, very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and a guy was sitting near us with a big husky dog. And Nick just goes, hey, you think that's a wolf? And I just said, yeah, I do think it's a wolf. They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, should I go ask him about it? I was like, I mean, absolutely, you know? I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here. And I watched him walk over to him and just go, excuse me, is that a wolf? And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, what? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now?
I wanted to play college basketball, and that didn't work out. It didn't work out because I got cut every year from my high school basketball team. So I had to play for my church because, yeah, the church cannot cut you. They have to let you play, which is nice. That's a good, you know. They would be, I guess they could cut you. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. Yeah. He is our captain, so. And church ball was a lot different, too, because we played, it was a half court, no three-point line. We played on carpet. That's your first sign. It's not going to count. And they didn't give us a basketball. We didn't have a ball. Like, we would just stand out there and play on honesty. So you'd be like, I just made it. It was like, oh, that's a good shot. You're really good. I stole it. I forgive you for stealing it. It was moral points. Counts later.
I was just honest with her. And I set her down. I said, look, Annie's very sick, and she's older, and she's going to die soon. This happens, so just love her as much as you can right now. And she took it as good as a 5-year-old can take it. So the next day, I kind of told her again, you got to tell kids over and over again. I kind of kept telling her. I didn't want this to be a surprise. And then Annie surprised us by living 6 months longer. I mean, we were way off on when we thought she was going to die. But I already started telling my daughter I didn't want to stop and then have to start it again. So I just kept it up for 6 months. Every day I was like, she'll die. All right, she will die. She will die. I will die. Your mom's dead. He goes, hey, this kid fell. Can you carry him up? So they carry me up. And my mom's in an ambulance in her pajamas. My dad, who I think everybody knows now is a magician, and he's doing a show in a full tuxedo. So when they get to the hospital, the doctor starts talking to my parents. I mean, my mom looks homeless. My dad's in a tuxedo. It looks like they're divorced and someone's not paying child support. All right. So we got in the fight over the phrase one fell swoop. just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. My wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, you know? When you marry into the divorce, I mean, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? So she wanted to go visit her parents, and shit, I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years, she's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband, and goes, perfect, use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents and I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop, you know? Let's swoop it up, I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. I mean, over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just like waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home when you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. That's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of sorries, just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. I mean, we're just sitting there, our daughters, like, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, you know your mom's crazy, right? And she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't want to be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife just came over, and she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it, you know? That was like, I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I was like laid there, and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's like, just let stuff go. You know, who cares? And the next morning I get up, and I kind of still wanted to talk about it. Because we didn't talk all night, you know? So I went into her, I was like, look, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just not what it means, you know? And that got it going real good. But I felt so good about this argument, you know? I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it back up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Our marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So I went to Honduras, another place because I was at the airport, and the guy was like, I was like, I'm going to Honduras. He was like, what city? And I was like, I'm just learning right now that's not the name of the city. So I don't know, dude. Just wherever other people are going, probably. Let's just go there and figure it out. We get to the base, and the guy, he's like telling us about Honduras, and he's like, you got to be careful. He's like, you got to really look out for snakes. There's a lot of venomous snakes here. So when you walk around, just keep an eye out. And he was like, now if you get bit by a snake, the best thing to do is then just go ahead and catch the snake and bring it, so then we know like what snake bit you. I was like, dude, I'm pretty positive that's like exactly what you're not supposed to, like, I've never seen that ever on Animal Planet. Like, someone gets bit and then they gotta be like, now I gotta get it. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I've never caught a snake in my life.
And then when I got bit for the first time, I got to get it together and catch a snake. I was like, it's not going to go good, man. I was like, he's going to keep biting me. That's all that's going to happen. And he was like, it doesn't matter. Like, you've already been bit. And I was like, do you even know what a snake is? It completely matters. There's a huge difference between one bite and probably 30 bites. That's what we're going to be at if I try to catch this snake. Who told you this? The snake? Is that who told you to tell me all of this? Whose side are you on?
I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. She's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. That's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out? And then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now. But once I get to the bottom of that, I'm going to do global warming. And I've got some pretty good ideas, you know? He goes, hey, this kid fell. Can you carry him up? So they carry me up. And my mom's in an ambulance in her pajamas. My dad, who I think everybody knows now is a magician, and he's doing a show in a full tuxedo. So when they get to the hospital, the doctor starts talking to my parents. I mean, my mom looks homeless. My dad's in a tuxedo. It looks like they're divorced and someone's not paying child support. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot, just get a call, don't buy anything, I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm going to come home and get that coupon? Is that what you think's about to happen? I'm going to try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm going to try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't ask me to round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can.
Once I was checking a bag, and the guy behind the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, I mean, he can't handle that. He's going to call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I honestly said. I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through it. And this is what he told me. This is honestly what he said. He goes, look, man, I get it. All right. He's trying to relate to me. And he was like, my name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. So I can't buy a ticket under my nickname Bart. They're not going to let me through. And he said it like, right? Like, do you know what, does that make sense? And I was like, that doesn't at all. Those are 2 different names. All right. I should be over there and you should be over here because that's how you're treating me. Like I'm a Joseph Bart.
I got a reversible jacket at home and I have 2 of them because I didn't know it was reversible. Bought them at the same time. Tried them both on separately. Like the black one, thought might as well get the blue one too. I went and laid them up there, and I remember they go, "Are you sure?" I go, "Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing here, right?" She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can track you even when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, "Why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts?" I'm like, "Look, I'm not gonna live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not gonna lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. I've done it, but I'm not gonna do it every time." So they wanted us to be prepared for it. What they did was, like, you know, you always hand out flyers if a kid goes missing. They put a picture of the kid and all the information below the flyer. So the height, weight, eye color, all that stuff. So instead of making a flyer, what they made us do was we wrote on a piece of paper our name, height, weight, eye color, and then we just held it up against a wall, and they just took a picture of us. We already have one made, which if we would have been kidnapped, my parents would be in prison right now. No one's going to believe you pre-took pictures. I mean, they're going to just look at this and be like, "All right, just tell us where the kids are at." That would be the easiest thing to do. I've never seen this ever. Our dog sleeps in our bed, and someone told me, "You're not supposed to do that because you lose dominance over the dog." And I asked him, I said, "What year do you think it is? These are all doodles. They're barely dogs. It's the person. They're people. This guy acts like it's 1980 when you kept the dog outside all year. Those you needed dominance over. You had a wolf in the backyard. Friends come over. You want to go outside?" I wouldn't. My biggest concussion was when I was 12 years old. I fell down a cliff. And so one day I slip and fall. So my friend that I'm with, he goes and gets my mom. There was a guy fishing in a boat. And so he sees me and he gets me into the boat. And then he takes me over to some stairs, which he had to be like, "Why didn't he just use these stairs?" I mean, they were right next to that cliff. Like, it didn't even make sense. So they carry me up, and my mom's in an ambulance in her pajamas. My dad, who I think everybody knows now is a magician, and he's doing a show in a full tuxedo. So when they get to the hospital, the doctor starts talking to my parents. I mean, my mom looks homeless. My dad's in a tuxedo. It looks like they're divorced and someone's not paying child support. Our DJ was awful, and that's because we got my mom to hire the DJ. I don't know who thinks to ask someone in their 50s for DJ recommendations. No one ever is like, "Mom, were you in with the local DJ scene by any chance?" She hired someone older than her. He just had CDs, and this was when computers were doing real good. He got super drunk, played the same song 3 times in a row. White Wedding, which he said was by Billy Joel. He only had one leg, seriously, and that's fine, you know. No one. I have a daughter, and my daughter's name is Harper. So a lot of people ask, they're like, "Oh, did you name her after Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird?" And you know, I've never thought about an author a day in my life, so. That never occurred to me. I mean, my middle name's Lee, and just never crossed my mind. I love having a kid. I love when kids cry. It's just innocent. I love how innocent it is. They cry over a tag in their shirt, and I mean they're bald. They don't like. It feels weird. And then I mean, if you walk, you like, "Is your house on fire?" Like, I've never seen someone cry this much. It's over nothing. She's on her iPad a lot. You know, that's the hard part. You got to get these kids off. Or you don't want technology all the time. She just sits there on her iPad. She wants to be a YouTuber, which as a comedian makes me furious. She watches all these kid YouTube videos, and now she makes her own videos. It's just her sitting there going, "Hey guys, what's going on? Click the links below, subscribe, leave a comment." None of this is anywhere but my phone. I got 90 hours of this, not on YouTube. Me and her mom are the only subscribers. She just watches kids playing with toys. Like, that's what's crazy. It's not like a show. I'd be fine if she watched a show. She watches just a kid that's like, "Hey, you don't have this toy? I do. You want to see me open it?" It's got 5 billion views. It looks like we buy her nothing. Like, we just show her, if you want to watch a kid have fun, but you're never going to have fun in this house. My parents are in their 60s. And when your parents hit their 60s, just so you know, you kind of realize that you go, "All right, I'm in charge of this family now," you know? they don't give it up. They don't offer it away. They just start doing stuff that you're like, I don't. We went to the store the other day, and we walked back to the car. We were in the store for an hour. We walked back. The driver's side door is wide open. He drove, opened the door to go inside, and just kept walking. He's been driving for 50 years. And I know cars are getting crazy, but one thing that stayed the same in all these 50 years is you got to open and shut that front door. My dad wore my mom's pants to a funeral. That was the day that I was like, look, we can't listen to this guy no more. We got to go get him. He doesn't know what's happening. I've done pretty good during COVID. Because I feel like I lost some weight during COVID. You could go two ways. If you wanted to gain weight, this is your time. I mean, everybody's fine with it. You can just do it. But I've been doing all that up until COVID. I've always lived by that rule. So during COVID, I was like, I need to stop. And my neighbor started working out in his driveway. And so he was like, let's work out in my driveway. And, it's hard to make a lot of excuses during COVID. You're like, I'm just so busy. I can't. I got a lot of stuff to do today. And he's just out there. So I started doing it with him, and he had a trainer. And I'm not a big fan of working out. Never done it. And I told him, I was like, I just want to do upper body stuff. And they go, all right, well, how about we just do legs every day? That's all it is legs. I think it's a huge conspiracy with trainers that you never actually do your upper body. And when you are doing it, I asked him, I go, is this upper body? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah, because I'm bending down quite a bit. What I eat that's the main problem. I eat like a child. It's not good. He goes, let's go through like what you had for breakfast, or your whole day of eating. He goes, let's go through yesterday. And in my head, I'm like, well, yesterday's not a good day. Let's pick another day. He goes, go through yesterday. I go, all right. I had donuts in the morning. And he goes, all right. Was it like they were just out or something? I go, no, I drove to it. I drove to it, and he's like, is it on your way? I go, nope, I was late to where I was going because of it. He goes, what about late night snacking? And I was like, well, I had Sour Patch Kids last night. He goes, did you watch a movie? I go, no, just regular TV. And ate only, he's like, the little kid bag? I go, no, it was a bag. It was a bag of them. If you saw it without a label and someone said, hand me that bag, they wouldn't be confused on what you were asking. I always have trouble going to sleep, and I swear every doctor, it's like I eat Sour Patch Kids and have soda, and I'm like, what's going on, man? I can't. Dude, at night, my brain just doesn't stop. And you're like, yeah, dude, you can't eat Sour Patch Kids in bed. Maybe that's a problem. And this old man walks up to me and goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, Olivia? I covered up, and I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. I was like, God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though, I'll tell you that. And this old man walks up to me and goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, Olivia? I covered up, and I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. I was like, God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though, I'll tell you that. We were going out to Mount Rainier, and I was with a buddy of mine. And Mount Rainier it's the third biggest mountain in America. It's a good one to go to. I don't know who number one or number two is, but maybe one day it will be number one, Do mountains keep growing? I don't think we know that yet. So it's a good time to see it. It doesn't have the attitude of a one or a two. I would take her to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. You can go there. They had COVID in '84. So they can't even survive in there. That's Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go out of business and they can't. They filed for bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, how do you get out? We want out. They're updating nothing. That Chucky band is just robotic. I mean, the drummer doesn't even turn on. It just sits like that the whole time. They sell booze to parents now. They just give them buckets of Bud Light. They're drunk in a booth at 9 a.m. And someone drives those kids home. I don't see a bunch of Ubers and Lyfts showing up. 43. You still think you're young. I have this jacket on. I'll hang out with a 23-year-old, and I'm like, you get it, dude? We're just a couple young dudes kicking it. Some guy will walk up, he's like, I'm 45. I'm like, why don't you beat it, old man? I can't believe that guy had the nerve to think he was our age, right, dude? That's crazy. Let's go sit down for a little bit. Doctor visits change. I had to get a physical. I mean, before 40, you don't even go inside. It's like a drive-in window. You just move your neck, and he's like, come on, dude, you're wasting everybody's time, all right? It was the first time I've ever been talked to old. It was just me and the doctor, and he looks at me, and he just goes, do you pee a lot at night? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, did my dad just walk in the room? How old do you think I am? I've never peed at night in my life. How about that? But since you brought it up, what is a lot? What is a big amount? I almost joined the Army when I was 18 just because they called. That was the only reason. I thought I got picked. I was like, oh, wow, this is an honor. Like, I also signed up for a JCPenney credit card at 18 because they called, and I was like, man, this day is getting crazier and crazier. I would love it. I would love a credit card. I just got called for the Army. I'll go get some stuff. My mom had to go get me out of all of that. My mom had to call the Army and JCPenney in the same day. She was like, he's not doing any of this. He got to the phone quicker than he usually does. So my parents are in their 60s. And when your parents hit their 60s, just so you know, you kind of realize that you go, all right, I'm in charge of this family now, you know? They don't give it up. They don't offer it away. They just start doing stuff that you're like, I don't, you know. We went to the store the other day, and we walked back to the car. We were in the store for an hour. We walked back. The driver's side door is wide open. He drove, opened the door to go inside, and just kept walking. He's been driving for 50 years. And I know cars are getting crazy, but one thing that stayed the same in all these 50 years is you got to open and shut that front door. My dad wore my mom's pants to a funeral. That was the day that I was like, look, we can't listen to this guy no more, you know? We got to go get him. He doesn't know what's happening. It usually starts happening when you start doing the holidays at your house instead of your parents' house. That's when it starts happening. And so my parents, once we did that, they downsized into a 2-bedroom townhome. So they still want to do Thanksgiving at their house, but they don't have the room for us. There's like 20 of us. It's like a college kid being like, you want to do Christmas in my dorm room? There's a table for 4, and then they have to put a train of TV trays and nightstands that just weaves down this hallway. I mean, you're sitting on stairs. We made the kids go eat in the car. We just go back in the car. You can't even eat inside. My mom didn't have ketchup. I was like, everybody just has ketchup. It just comes in houses. If I went to some alcoholic's house, he would have ketchup. His whole family would be gone. But I would say, do you have ketchup? He'd be like, I'm not that gone, man. Out of all the years, this has been the best one. I mean, there's aliens. They said there's UFOs. And no one cares. What kind of year could you have that you could sneak in? Hey, everybody, on the news. They're at the end of the news, they go, there's UFOs. And you're like, oh, do they have COVID? And you're like, no. Like, I don't know. They won't get tested. But, that's the hard part. You got to get these kids off. You don't want technology all the time. She just sits there on her iPad. She wants to be a YouTuber, which as a comedian makes me furious. She watches all these kid YouTube videos, and now she makes her own videos. It's just her sitting there going, hey, guys, what's going on? Click the links below, subscribe, leave a comment. None of this is anywhere but my phone. I got 90 hours of this, not on YouTube. Me and her mom are the only subscribers. She just watches kids playing with toys, too. Like, that's what's crazy. It's not like a show. I'd be fine if she watched a show. She watches just a kid that's like, hey, you don't have this toy? I do. You want to see me open it? It's got 5 billion views. It looks like we buy her nothing. Like we just show her, if you want to watch a kid have fun, but you're never going to have fun in this house. My wife's always around too. I feel just always like near, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I do if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm going to paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in. And that's when I was going to start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m. And I would bet my life a light would cut on and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff.
Look, you think I'm old? There's people older than me still around. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. Walking around. People from the 30s. My great Aunt Helen, from the 30s. She's deaf. They didn't know she was deaf until she was 9 years old. That's how long it took them to figure it. Deaf, one of the easier ones to figure out. And the doctors were baffled as they smoked in her face. And they're like, she's rude, I'll tell you that.
I almost joined the Army when I was 18 just because they called. That was the only reason. I thought I got picked. I was like, oh, wow, this is an honor. I also signed up for a JCPenney credit card at 18 because they called and I was like, man, this day is getting crazier and crazier. I would love it. I would love a credit card. I just got called for the Army. I'll go get some stuff. My mom had to go get me out of all of that. My mom had to call the Army and JCPenney in the same day. She was like, he's not doing any of this. He got to the phone quicker than he usually does. So,
still sleeps in our bed too, and parents don't like that when you say it. They're like, you got to keep them outside. Don't look at them. It's my fault. So we had a kid late in life. We have one kid. And so we're kind of hitting all the sites. And I would be, when I get home, I travel a bunch and I get home, I'd want us to all sleep in the bed together. And I've kind of built up a habit now, and it's happening. So it's tough, though, because kids don't know how to sleep. I mean, she makes king bed feel like a twin. I'm on the edge. When I sleep alone in a hotel, I have to sleep with my head on the nightstand. It's the only way I know how to go to bed. She gets sideways, upside down. If you woke up upside down tomorrow, you would go to the hospital. She's also apparently going through menopause because she's the hottest human being that's ever lived. I'm not freezing at night. She just kicks all the covers off, and you're like, yeah, no, you go ahead. It's your bed. We're lucky to be in it. She's got to get out at some point, I don't know. She'll be 37 years old. Hey, can I get in the bed with you guys? Her kids are upstairs asleep in their bed. Her husband left a while ago. He ain't gonna put up with that.
Annie was getting put down. She was a hunting dog, and she was terrible at it. And she was bred to be a hunting dog, and she was just like a misfit toy that just didn't do it. She got shot once, and that's because the guy, he would be doing target practice, and then she'd just walk in front of the targets, and he would hit her, and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, what are you doing? She had no awareness about her, the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys. Retired hunting dog. Figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times. I push her out, and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I'm just looking at her you didn't feel anything? Nothing was going? I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... Guys are not good at marriage, all right? It's not our fault. We weren't prepared for it like women are. Your whole life is built just preparation for marriage. Look at every toy you played with. When you're a baby, they give you a baby doll. So they give you a baby when you're a baby. You don't even know you're alive yet, and they're like, look, I would probably start figuring this out. This is where it's going. Then they give you Barbie and Ken. They live in a little house together, and that is where you learn how to make drama. Then you would play house. You would, fake vacuum. Just fake vacuum with your friends. That was awesome. And it's weird, because when I see my wife vacuum now, I'm like, she is living her childhood dream. She's made it. My wife gets mad because I don't like any of her photos. She's like, why don't you like any of my photos, you know? And it's like, is this not enough, us living together and stuff? I don't... And I did like it. When we took it, I said I like it. I told you I like it. I looked at it. I'm in it. I'm in the photo. There's not much more I can do with this photo. We've been together my entire life. Since we started dating when I was like 21. I'm 37 now. And like I went from like my mom to her. So I don't even know what it feels like to not have some lady be like, I don't know if I would do that, you know. And now we have a daughter, so I'll never know. I'll never know. It is very exciting to be here. Not all shows, though, are like this. I did a show in a prison once. All the way in it. We went in it. There's few more people than this. We go in, let's say like you guys are like the inmates. So I'm like sitting here, I'm doing my dumb jokes. None of them work. Every joke I have involves being outside in the past 30 years. Like nothing's relatable. I'm like, traffic's crazy. Do you guys remember? Who remembers traffic? An inmate gets up and starts walking towards me. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. You know, like I've seen movies, like he's going to use me to break out. So I don't want to point at him, you know, but I am trying to draw. I'm like, the weather's been like pretty crazy. Should he be walking up like that? Turns out he's just going to the bathrooms. They're right behind me. He's a good guy. I judged him on what he was wearing and where we were at. It was my fault. He goes in, the bathrooms are not, they're like open. So I'm against this like brick wall and I'm like standing, it goes like halfway up. So it's me, a brick wall, and then the urinals. And he just comes out and then comes and pees picks the one right behind me. And so it's just me and him just standing there. He's peeing, I'm like trying to talk. And he just pees without even kind of a problem. It was the most confidence I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, I thought, whatever you think this guy did it, all right? That's not, an innocent man doesn't pee like that. That's a guy, he's not getting out. I took social media off my phone. I have Instagram still on there. I feel like it's still okay. It's like, it's safe. Twitter's like, I feel like it's just like celebrities telling you you're the worst. That's all it is, all day. Whether it's like the presidential election, everybody's furious. And then there's a big pipeline thing. Remember that? They're like, we got to stop this pipeline. We're like, yeah, we do. I don't even know where this is at. I couldn't find it. Right now, I don't know what was in the pipe. I don't know if the pipe was above ground, but it was like, we got to stop. People have stuff there, and you can't be throwing pipes. You can't just throw pipes everywhere you want to throw pipes, you know? And it just... I follow Leonardo DiCaprio, you know? I'm a big fan. Just want to see what that guy's life is like. He tweets nothing fun out. I've learned that. He tweeted out 100 million sharks get killed a year by people. Just threw that up. No solution. I'm just at home in Tennessee, nowhere near an ocean. So many sharks. If you told me to guess how many sharks were alive, I would never have guessed 100 million. I don't know, 1 million? I don't know. Like, who knows how many sharks there are? I tweeted back, I was like, all right, dude, I won't kill any sharks. I don't know. Is that what you wanted out of this? I won't do it. I've never even been near a situation where I thought I might have to kill this shark. Never even met a guy that's pet a shark, but I'm not getting involved now. Facebook is more, that's your like friends telling you you're the worst. It's more local. No one has a good day on Facebook. It's everybody's worst days of their lives. And you'll be like the first thing you look at. You like wake up and you like cut it on and then just be like, do you want to see a murder video? You're like, I don't at all. I just woke up. I'm just trying to see whose birthday it is, you know? And they're just like, well, we already started playing it. So, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll watch that. My wife gets mad because I don't like any of her photos. She's like, why don't you like any of my photos, you know? And it's like, is this not enough, us living together and stuff? I don't... And I did like it. When we took it, I said I like it. I told you I like it. I looked at it. I'm in it. I'm in the photo. There's not much more I can do with this photo. We've been together my entire life. Since we started dating when I was like 21. I'm 37 now. And like I went from like my mom to her. So I don't even know what it feels like to not have some lady be like, I don't know if I would do that, you know. And now we have a daughter, so I'll never know. I'll never know. We get in fights, you know, still. And when you're married for a long time, fighting is just, it can happen, it's open 24 hours, basically, at any time. We got in a fight recently at 3 a.m. We woke up to get in this fight. We have a dog, and our dog, like, freaks out when it thunders. And so we have sedatives to give her because there's only so many times you can tell a dog it's just thunder before you're like, she's not getting it, you know. And you're like, just take this, all right? So I woke up, I had to wake my wife up, and I was like, hey, where are the sedatives at? And she was like, they're at the top of the cabinet. So I go get them. I looked at the bottle, and the bottle said they were expired. So I had to wake my wife back up, and I was like, hey, these say they're expired. And she was like annoyed. She was like, they're not expired, all right? They're new pills in an old pill bottle. And I was like, all right, I should have thought of that. You know, that's my fault. I mean, we have people come to our house all the time and they get milk and they're like, is this milk expired? And I have to go, that's new milk in an old milk jug. Are you the stupidest person I've ever met? Why would you not assume that's what it is? That's roughly what I told her. It wasn't as fun as that. And then she goes all in and tells me it doesn't matter because dog medicine can't even expire. Which I was like, you've never even heard a rumor about that. You don't know that. We don't know any dog medicine people. I know who she knows. We don't know one dog medicine maker that's texting her like, hey, we're doing some pretty big things at the dog medicine factory. I wanted to let you know first, but we've invented medicine that can't expire. So feel free to tell your husband at 3 a.m. We do have a daughter as well. We took her to Disneyland when she was 2, and people told us that was a mistake. We didn't ask anybody, but they were happy to tell us. And they were like, you're just wasting money, you know, she's not going to remember it. And I was like, I don't know. She believes in Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse is like real to her. It's like fun to see her get excited, you know. Should I just lock her in a closet and be like, do you remember yesterday? No? Well, until you start remembering things, I'm not going to waste any of my money on you, all right? We're trying to discipline her, too, and it's hard to discipline kids nowadays. You know, you can't do it. You can't spank them. You can't talk about it in a microphone for sure. So it's like, what do? You got to hope it works out. Spanking got, like, blown out of proportion because, like, you would see, like, a video of a lady, like, fighting her kid in a Walmart parking lot, and they were like, no, you're not supposed to spank. You're like, that was a regular fight. That's not, like, what we're talking about. I was spanked. My generation was. It was fine, you know. You ever talk to really old generations? They just act like they were beat with bats. They say stuff to you like, that doesn't sound like that should have been happening. You should have called the police or something. Like, the police would hit us as well. Everybody was hitting us. It's fun to be back home, though. I got my 20-year high school reunion is this year, and I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty invested. I didn't go to college, so this is like the last group of people I met. So I mean, I cannot wait. I love it. I went to the 10-year, loved it. Suggested a 15, no one wanted it. Finally, the 20 is here. My buddy told me, he's like, I'm going to lose weight for our 20-year reunion. And that always like feels, you know, you're like, why don't you lose it for the people that were in your life every day for the past 20 years? You've made your wife stare at your moose body for 15 years. Why don't you tone it up for her a little bit? He's like, no, I'll just save it for the people I hate.
I'm going as is. Just, this is what happened. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I didn't work out then. I didn't start when I left. So I'm just seeing how it's going to go. I do zero working out. Not even, it's not like you're like, whoa, wow. Like it's like, yeah, we figured that. Every hotel I go to, I ask if they have a gym. I don't even have clothes that I could work out in. There's no way. I'm like, is it 24 hours? I was going to start tonight at midnight. So I was wondering if that's... What I've learned, what's easier than working out is just tell people that you used to weigh 300 pounds. That's a lot. They don't know, So I've never weighed 300 pounds, but I look pretty amazing for a guy that used to weigh 300 pounds. You're like, yeah, I got tired of being tired, all right, Today's my cheat day, obviously, but normally I'm pretty strict. I just don't eat anything healthy. I like apples, but I only like pre-cut apples. I won't eat a whole one, I'm not a horse, all right? So could you guys do some work over there at the apple factory, however apples get here? I've watched a lot of the documentaries that try to make you eat better. Like I watched Fed Up, and it's about all the food that I eat every day. There was nothing in it that I haven't had recently. You know that saying, like, I haven't had that in forever? I haven't said that in forever. There's nothing I haven't had. Airheads, that's usually something like, oh, are they still doing good? Yeah, they're doing great. They got more colors now. It's pretty fun, I go to too much, chain stuff. That's, I can't think outside of, going to, a chain place. And they mess up all the time. But I still just go back. I'll go to McDonald's. I'll have, the nerve to be, in the drive-thru, and be like, hey, guys, this said no onions, and this has onions. And they just look at me like, you're too old to be here, man. Don't come here. This is not a real restaurant, all right? I'm 11 years old. That guy's 90. Go to, a regular... You live near here. Go to a regular place. I had a whole issue at a Starbucks. I went into Starbucks, ordered iced coffee with milk. Nothing crazy, And the guy looked at me weird. When you're get something in your head, you're like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what I said. But you're too far in. You're both touching the credit card. So you just got to go, all right, let's see what he thinks he heard. And I go to the end of the counter, and he gives me milk with ice in it. I had to ask him. I go, what is that? He goes, milk with ice in it. I was like, what do you think? Do I look like a psycho to you, dude? I've never ordered milk publicly in the history of my life. I've never once in my life been out and thought, you know what I could go for right now? A cup of milk. I'd love to do that. I'd love a cup of milk. I'd like to drink it out of a straw. Something else I've never done. Let's do that. And then let's put ice in it. Let's do something I didn't even know you could do. Let's do all that in front of all these people I don't know. And it was a Starbucks that was in a Target. It wasn't even its own Starbucks. It was a Starbucks that's we don't really do everything. And I was like, do you do milk with ice in it by any chance? Is that something? I just go to all of them. And I still go. I go to, everybody messes up. I want them to do so much better. I went to Walmart. I go there. I'm fine with them, I'm a Walmart guy. That's where I'm at. I went into one. I was trying to, and Walmart's getting a little sometimes when you go in there, some of the people that work there are some of them I don't even know. You'll be talking to them. I'm I don't even know if you work here, if you're a customer. It's 50-50. But they're willing to help, which is nice. I went into one. I was trying to buy a hammock. So I go in, I go back to where I imagine the hammocks live. And I went up to this guy and I was like, hey man, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, what's a hammock? And it threw me off enough that I was like, am I saying it wrong? I was like, I think I'm saying it wrong because you know what it is. And I was like, is it hammock with a T? Does that sound right? Do you guys sell hammocks?
And he was like, we're out of hammocks. We're out of them. It's hammock season. And I left, went to my car, Googled where to buy a hammock. And Google was like, do you mean hammock? It's like, I sure do, Google. Where were you at during all of this? The other embarrassing part of that is, so it happened, and then I called like a comic buddy of mine to tell him the story. And I was like, this is funny, right? But then I asked him, I was like, hey, do you think if I tell people I was buying a hammock, is that going to come off like I'm bragging? Like, for some reason, in my head, that's just like a wealthy purchase. Like, that's a hammock at Walmart. Like, an audience would be like, whoa, all right. I didn't know we were just hearing about how good you're doing. Man, what's it like to have two trees that close together? Is it nice? I heard it looks nice. I've seen pictures. I've had my one like fancy purchase. I had LASIK surgery, and we were living in New York, so I had it. It was in Manhattan. Got a deal on it, so that helps knock it down. It worked. You know, I can't see this side of the room, but besides that, this side I see almost too good. And no, it was fine. And they did a couple things that were weird. Besides the deal I got, that's they want to show you the video, like before you have it. They're like, here, watch eye surgery, and you're like, just do it. I don't want to watch. Like, I trust. We're in a building. This seems like a real thing, so just go. If I was doing that out of some guy's van, I might ask that guy for a video. But you know, be normal. And the other thing, they didn't make me bring anybody. And I was like, should I bring someone to take me home? And they're like, no, most people can see. I was like, you said most. You sure? It's not a big deal. I'll tell someone where I'm at. They're like, no, don't. Did you tell anybody where you're at? Don't tell anybody. So I go in. They give you a Valium. You go back and you do it. Then you get done. They give you those big sunglasses. And then I'm on a Valium. They're like, you good? You're like, yeah, this is like the funnest surgery ever. This has been a fun day, to be honest. And they're like, can you see? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, so I go down. I'm in Manhattan. So we get out, and I start walking to go to the subway. Get a few blocks away. And then my eyes start hurting so bad. And I just want to keep them shut. You don't want to open them. And so I'm like, I can't get home. So I get my phone. I'm like blinking. And I get to my wife, and I call her. And I was like, you got to come get me. I can't see. You know, and I was like, and you should have come too, by the way, all right? Like, why are you not here? So I was like, you got to come find me. I don't know where I'm at. I've made turns. So I was like, just go back to that place and then just expand your search around buildings until you find me. And I just stood I put my hand on a building, and I just stood like, because I was afraid I would like drift out in the street and just be like just shuffling. And next thing I know, I'm in the middle of the road, just big sunglasses, which wouldn't be that different for New York. And so I'm just standing, I stood with my hand like this for like 30 minutes. I mean, we were to the point if anybody confidently just walked up, they could have taken me home. Next person that goes, let's go, I was living with them for the rest of my life. It's fun doing comedy with, like, 'cause you get to travel so much. I fly a bunch, and it never gets easy when you fly. Like, you just think, like, every plane you're on is going to go down. It's not in a dark, you know, it's never relaxing. I had, I've got on a plane once, and, you ever get on and just look at everybody on it, and it just looks like a group that would go down in a plane crash. Like, for some reason, you're like, I feel like I've seen all of us before. I had a pilot tell us right before we took off that he was retiring, and this was his last flight. You're like, all right, why don't you just say that when we land, dude? Like, it's not like we're gonna be different people. We're the same people. He's basically just like, either way, this is my last flight. So, all I can tell you is I'm not flying again after that. I'm trying to get better. Like, when you travel now, you go to like different cities. It's like to actually go explore the town and like see stuff. I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, and yeah, a couple of us. All right, and they have a big battleship there,
And it's in it looks like it's a river because you can see across. It doesn't look big, but it's probably part of the ocean. It's like one of those where you're like, could I drink that water? Could I not? I don't know. But you can't ask that. You can't ask someone how water works. So I didn't even go on it, but it's there. I just wanted you to not think I didn't see it if you go. But I looked up some other stuff to do. They have a thing there called Cape Fear Serpentarium. And it's just a guy's house, and he has a bunch of snakes, lizards, and a crocodile just in his house. He has the world record for being bitten by a viper snake. It's 7 times, which is it's a record no one is trying to get. It's so many times. He was bitten 3 times and then 4 more times after that. That's how many times he was bitten. 3's a ton, and then 4 more after is just too many. But I was like, I got to go see this. This is going to be amazing. So I go, I walk in. Right when you walk in, he's got a lobby set up. And in the lobby, he has 2 parrots and then a bunch of anti-government posters. That's he just has those things. It's 2 parrots and a lot of stuff on chemtrails. He's basically just this is what I would love to talk to you about. And you're like, I just want to see some snakes, man. He's like, all right, but maybe later could I corner you and talk to you about it? And you're like, I don't know, let's see how the snakes go. So I went and I paid. It was $9. Obviously cash only in a place like that. And so I give him my $9. I go up. First snake I see is a gaboon viper. It's a crazy venomous snake. And there's a story written out about how venomous it is. And the story was that these 2 kids broke into the Washington National Zoo in the early 1980s to steal a gaboon viper for whatever reason. So they get it, they put it in a trash bag. When they're walking out, they have the trash bag over their shoulder as if they forgot what they just did. The snake bites through the trash bag because it's a 1980s trash. It's not like a Glad one now, This was when trash bags were not doing good. So it bit the kid. The kid went into a coma for 4 days, and then it was that's all we know. We don't know what happened. And you're like, that's the whole reason I'm even reading this, to see what... Did he die? Is he stronger? Are you him? What's the rest of the story? So if you ever go, and you should go, 3 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, he feeds these things. So I looked at my watch. It was 3 p.m. I was like, all right, we'll go watch these things eat. So the first snake they go to feed is the black mamba. It's another crazy venomous snake that should not be in America outside of a zoo. Especially not at a guy's house that hates America. So we're like, all right, we got to go see this. So we get down there. He puts a chicken wired fence around him. So if a snake gets out, he'll just get out of that fence pretty quick. The fence has holes in it that I would describe as a little bit bigger than a black mamba. And I mean, we're leaning on it. We're getting kids up against it. We're like, no, you get up here. Their kids' faces are against it. So we all stand around. He's a bucket of dead mice. He grabs a mouse. He throws it in there. He eats it. We all cheer, and then we move on. Next one we go to is 12-foot anaconda. This snake is huge. He props open the glass cage with a 2x4. That's how big it is. Props it up. No chicken wired fence. It's non-venomous. Worst case scenario, we're all going to wrestle this snake. So we're all standing there around. He gets his bucket back out, but this time it's got dead rabbits in it. And they're the biggest rabbits I've ever seen I would have paid $9 to see what that rabbit's life was like. Just to see that rabbit drive up that day. He gets these giant, 2-handed tongs that they look like they're for this. So he grabs a rabbit. He kind of steps back. He's going to make the snake come out and get it like he's hunting. So it's the rabbit, it's him, children, and then us. I mean, no, he's the only employee there. So we stand there. Luckily, the snake comes out. He gets the rabbit. He's constricts it. It falls to the ground. He lifts it. He puts it back in. He goes, well, Easter Bunny's dead. Makes that joke for the kids. Yeah. And we waited for him to say he was joking. He did not. Yeah, he stared at the kids harder, almost to assure it. That's what it is. Then he goes, all right, you have permission to touch the snake. No one's asking. We're walking away. No one was like, I bet this is where we can pet him. They're leaving, and he makes the kids pet him. And they most don't want to touch the snake. Most are petting the rabbit he was eating. It was like the 30s. There's no rules in this place.
It's like riding a ski lift. Like, you ever been on a ski lift and like halfway up, you're like, hey, my bar didn't lock. Should it have locked? I don't do this ever. So the last one is the crocodile. We go to the crocodile. It's a 10-foot crocodile. This crocodile has been staring out at his cage at everybody. Like, he's trying to remember you for supporting this guy. Like he's like, I'll find you one day. I mean, if he was in here right now with a hat on, I wouldn't be surprised. That's how nervous I am when I go out. So we all stand around. The crocodile's there. He unlocks the door. Door's unlocked. He gets his rabbit bucket, and he grabs a rabbit, and he's going to just open the door and, like, throw it in there and eat it. And watch it. He grabs the rabbit. He gets it right here. The crocodile sees the rabbit and comes forward, hitting the door, which is unlocked and, we learn, also broken. Hits the door. The crocodile's momentum, like, just takes him out into the carpet, like they were staying with us. The kids. There's a 10-foot crocodile just on the floor. So everybody just starts losing it. It's like a Godzilla movie. People are just running. Everybody's crying. People are crying real hard, like just bawling. Everybody's dead behind you. You just assume it. You don't even look. Some lady was like, my husband. I was like, your husband's gone, lady. He's gone. We shouldn't be here. There's so many signs that say we shouldn't be here. And we just leave, because the cobra was next. She's like, I don't know if the cobra's in a cage. Who knows where this cobra's at? He might have been watching this with us. This is a real story. And here's my proof. I have proof to this story. Is there's a TripAdvisor review from that day. It's not my review. I'm not a review guy. But someone reviewed it. And you can look at it. Go to TripAdvisor. Type in Wilmington, North Carolina, Cape Fear Serpentarium. When you get there, go to the reviews. They have 4 stars to 1 stars. If you want to see what I'm talking about, I would start at the 1 stars. They're all pretty fun to read, though. You know, 4 stars loved it. They think the place is great. 3 and 2 stars, they're usually pretty hung up on the propaganda in the lobby. They can't get past that. And then just go to the 1 star that says, crocodile got out of the cage. It's the best 1-star review I've ever heard in my life. Like, just the most, oh, did that poster hurt your feelings? Did a crocodile get out when you were there? Because he got out with us, and we didn't think he should have been out with us. So 1 star. All right, thank you guys so much. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy by the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point, because, I mean, he can't handle that. He's going to call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I got. He's like, I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through. And this is what he told me. This is honestly what he said. He goes, look, man, I get it. All right. He's trying to relate to me. And he was like, my name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. So I can't buy a ticket under my nickname Bart. They're not going to let me through. And he said it like, right? Like, do you know does that make sense? And I was like, that doesn't at all. Those are 2 different names. All right. I should be over there and you should be over here, because that's how you're treating me. Like I'm a Joseph Bart. My wife gets mad because I don't like any of her photos. She's like, why don't you like any of my photos, you know? And it's like, is this not enough, us living together and stuff? I don't... And I did like it. When we took it, I said I like it. I told you I like it. I looked at it. I'm in it. I'm in the photo. There's not much more I can do with this photo. We've been together my entire life.
Since we started dating when I was like 21. I'm 37 now. And, like, I went from like my mom to her. So I don't even know what it feels like to not have some lady be like, I don't know if I would do that, you know. And now we have a daughter, so I'll never know. I'll never know.
On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently, and it's a tough thing to do. You know, nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now, and she was very sick. That was a joke. All right, that was a joke, and she would have loved that joke. So don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker. Always talk to me very easy, too, or dumb. Like if I talk to a stranger, I can always feel it. And I think it's my eyes. I have big eyes, you know? And so I just get a lot of like, you still with me, man? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, man, I'm listening. And he goes, all right, I don't feel like you